For updates on sports stories across the globe, Aaron Akirijola joins us. Good morning, Aaron. How are you today?
Good morning to you, Aya. Good morning to you, Rufai.
That's you, Aaron.
Yes.
How is that?
He's doing good. A fantastic Friday, I must actually say. Let's get it started with results from the Europa League. And I must say, big wins for the likes of Liverpool on the day. And not forgetting AS Roma also actually delivering a massive sucker punch in the Europa League. I must say that would have actually, Mourinho's team actually bouncing back and actually showing that maybe they might be favourites to actually win this particular one. And not forgetting West Ham United. I must say this because West Ham United right now looking good for the money. 17 games in Europe undefeated. So you look at that, and unbeaten in 17 games, quite phenomenal. No English team has ever done it, be it in the top tier, the Champions League, or the lower tier, the Europa League. So kudos to them. Away from that, as we actually build up to a massive weekend, there is big problem for Arsenal at the moment because they are sweating out the fitness of one man. Bukayo Saka is his name, and a man that has played over 80 consecutive games. At the moment, he holds the enviable record of actually being the man with the most consecutive appearances for the Gunners in the English Premier League. So right now, some say Mikel Arteta has run him literally to the ground, and he has come to a grinding halt. And he didn't finish the game that Arsenal played in the UEFA Champions League, and right now he might be on the bench for that crucial game against Manchester City. Speaking about that game, Arsenal know that that game is very crucial, understanding that everyone seemed to say that they unraveled after losing to Manchester City last season, and they will be hoping to show that this is not a mental thing, or this is not a mental block, and that the apprentice can actually stand up to their master. But one man will be missing, talking about no other than Rodri. And if you look at the amount of games they've actually won with him on the pitch of play, and the amount of games they've actually lost, he's going to be a big miss for the citizens in that particular game. So it is first versus third. Manchester City against Arsenal. Arsenal do have an opportunity to climb over Manchester City and begin to dominate on top of the table. Or will Manchester City be stretching that particular one? And who knows, maybe even this weekend, the Lily White Spurs might rise to the top of the table. But that match is very crucial this particular weekend. Looking forward to it. It's on Sunday, on Super Sunday, I must actually say. Right now, at the moment, one man is coming under intense pressure and fire and scrutiny. His name is Gianni Infantino, the president of FIFA, because he's decided that the centenary celebration of the FIFA World Cup will be quite grandiose. As a matter of fact, we're going to be having it played across six countries, 3 continents. When looking at it, the main World Cup itself is to be hosted by Portugal, Spain, and Morocco, but paying a little bit of a big homage to where the World Cup actually started in Montevideo in Uruguay back in 1930. They are saying that they will be dialing back and playing some sort of games in Uruguay, Argentina, and Paraguay. And people are asking, the logistics will be a nightmare trying to navigate all these different places, trying to watch the World Cup. Criticism came in. We were there. I was there at the World Cup in Australia, and people complained about the fares having to move from New Zealand to Australia, or from Auckland to Sydney, so you look at all this and you begin to ask questions. Is FIFA considering the fans, or are they just trying to spread the game? But before then, let's talk
until it's done. I don't think it's going to be such a logistical nightmare. It's going to bring its own challenges, but it's impossible until it is done.
All right, because it's becoming a trend, understanding that the 2026 World Cup will be hosted by 3 countries, talking about Mexico, USA, and Canada. So let's see how it goes.
That was how people complained in 2002, Korea, Japan. But in recent times, that's been one of the best World Cups. You can say that. So it's impossible until it's done.
Okay.
Just like Euro 2000. When Netherlands and the likes hosted, and Belgium.
And now, Rufai, this weekend, the Formula One Championship might be over, as Max Verstappen needs to win this weekend to be able to actually top things. Of course,
it's over
it is the Qatar Grand Prix, and a lot is expected from different people. Of course, sprints will start today. Qualifiers will start today. Then we'll have sprint tomorrow and the main race on Sunday. And if he scores 3 points in the sprint race this weekend, is all but over for the rest of the gang. The rest will have to play catch up. And finally, before I open the floor to you guys, let's talk about one woman that was heavily celebrated just some few days ago, talking about the woman Aisha Fallow, the board member of the Nigeria Football Federation, former chairperson of the Nigeria Women's Football League, and a lot of accolades were poured away because of her contribution to the game and how she's been able to raise the standard of the women's game to an enviable level, to get ladies that maybe would have never thought of ever playing football outside the shores of this country play football, and helping standardize the women's league. A lot of people came out in their numbers, journalists, major stakeholders, and eggheads within the sporting fraternity came out to celebrate this woman, as she's actually done very, very well, I must say. Kudos to her.
She deserves every kudos she gets. Aisha Fallow is a towering figure on Amazon. A lot of people will remember how she started up on this side of things as a journalist. But all the things she advocated being a journalist, she said, okay, let me put my money where my mouth is.
True.
Then she went to the other side of the administration and she executed most of the things she advocated. So she's just a clear example of what we call talk na do. She said it while she was on this side, while she was, pundit on AIT back in the days, and she moved forward to doing and getting all of it done. She's a towering figure. She deserves all the commendation.
Because she celebrated from Nigeria to Zurich. Just name it all. Everyone.
When it comes to the footballing fraternity in Nigeria, in Africa, Aisha Fallow towers amongst many other people. To Verstappen, congratulations to me. I think he's nicked it already. It's an unstoppable season for him. Hopefully next year, maybe Toto will be able to get the car right with Mercedes and all of that.
Wishful thinking.
Wishful thinking. But at this point, I don't think any engine on the grid will be able to match up with what Red Bull is churning out.
True.
That engine, which most of the parts were made by Honda anyway. But kudos to them. Let's see how next season goes. As regards Arsenal, I'm rooting for Arsenal to be able to beat Man City over the weekend. And I'm with you on this.
Thank you very much. I know that I'm going to certainly miss Bukayo Saka, definitely. However, I think that Arsenal has been in fine form, and they would want to. This is Man City we're talking about. They denied us being, winners of the champions and winners of the Premier League the last season. So we definitely want to go for gold and I don't want to use go for blood, but go for gold, definitely. So looking forward to an exciting match, and Arsenal, again, doing what Arsenal does nowadays in terms of win-win-win. All we do is win-win. But talking about the World Cup, Aaron, a few concerns, because some people have said, number one is for the fans, that will be a logistical nightmare. I'm all for it. I'm all for doing things, breaking the boundaries, thinking outside the box, challenging yourself, and that's what in the world, because you have to make the game exciting. If not, after a while, it will become monotonous and boring. And of course, it's such a huge revenue for FIFA. But how will fans manage to travel to different continents? Already, it's a bit more costly to visit countries that are hosting, the World Cup, and then you're not talking about how many continents. Then they also talk about, for the players, the fact that in some parts of the world it will be winter, in other parts it will be summer. Would that affect their playing abilities? In terms
of course it will.
So those are small. I don't know how. They have 7 years to try and manage and think, and they've always done, phenomenal work. But it's those kind of questions that for fans who would like to go, will they buy tickets? Will they go to the cities? What days are they? What days are the matches going to be?
Fair point to Rufai, being that a lot of people said it was impossible for Qatar to host the FIFA World Cup, which was in
the thick of winter.
The
first Winter World Cup happened, and it was a very successful World Cup.
It's the change from how your body adjusts. Even when you change weather, it doesn't go sharply. You go from winter to
but
spring.
Qatar has shown you that you can actually optimize the stadium temperature of the conditions.
Okay, that's fair.
But now the difference is how many people can spend the kind of money Qatar has spent.
Is Morocco? Can Morocco afford it?
No.
Like Qatar were willing to break the bank. They didn't even host a Formula One last year because they were so zoned into the World Cup. So take for instance,
if you go to the World Cup, it's not every game every fan gets to see.
Yes.
Definitely there are some that will go to South America for the ceremonial part and ceremonial bit. Secondly, and afterwards, which is a homage to where it started from Montevideo, look at what they did. It was very technical. They put the World Cup in Spain, Portugal, Morocco, all across the Iberian Peninsula.
Yeah.
Morocco to Spain, probably an hour or two.
Yeah.
Portugal to Spain, probably an hour or two. So as regards that, it's still around one circle, but it does the work of catering to 2 continents at the same time. Then pretty much a ceremonial hub that goes on in South America.
Yeah.
So it's they'll run it. I mean, these are what these guys are.
Well, I do believe it will be exciting. I know some people will visit all the continents where this is happening, and
you see some that, like you said, they'll visit all the continents.
They'll visit. It's exciting. I'm just saying for people who save up and try to go to the World Cup. I hope this wouldn't be a deterrent to them, but it'll be exciting to see the different cultures, different continents host and come together to present. Hopefully, for their centenary, 100 years in 2030, big celebration there for the World Cup. And Madam Aisha Falode, as a woman, I'm proud, and I have to say, I'm proud to celebrate her. I have to say also that she opened the door for other women to believe that they can come into sports. I was reading the dedication by the new Chief Operating Officer of Brila FM, Debbie Larry Zamoje, talking about the fact that she sees in Madam Aisha Falode a mentor. And it was through her that she was able to believe that, okay, women cannot just play in sports in Nigeria, and by play, I mean be a player in sports in Nigeria, but also thrive in that. And so she has done phenomenally well, and more than that, she has raised other women like herself to come into the sporting world, in sporting industry in Nigeria and excel. I'm looking forward to having the first female sports minister in Nigeria. That would be fantastic. That would be one. If you look at the contributions of women to sports in Nigeria, it's underplayed. Look at our female team, the Falcons. Look at the Olympics, the women, Chioma Jonwa, Tobi Amuson. There are women who have played significant roles. The Tigresses. So we have so many women doing a lot of things, but the attention and focus is often on the men, and the men are the ones who are making the policies in sports. And so we need to see more women representation, and it's great to see Madam Aisha Falode being celebrated. More women in sports in Nigeria.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aaron.
Always a pleasure.